Francis, yes, the value of selling. There are a lot of misconceptions about selling. My very first experience of selling was in my formative years when I decided to sell my father's vegetables that he grew in the backyard. For that season, we had excess supply. We're not outright farmers. It's just that we had a really good harvest. So I needed to dispose of those vegetables before they perished. I was excited to venture into the world of entrepreneurship with the same zeal that little kids have when they set up their first lemonade stand. You've seen it, that innocent enthusiasm. Come get your freshly squeezed lemonade for only $5 a cup. The moment had arrived. My first customer. He looked at me and I smiled and said, "Good morning, sir." He asked, "How much for the vegetables?" I said, "Only $4. The problem was, I perceived what I was selling was what everyone needed and could afford. He looked and turned away. It was an eye-opening experience. Because in that moment, it unlocked a new fear, embarrassment, and self-consciousness. I told myself, selling is hard. But why does selling have a bad reputation? It's because selling is not just about how much money you make, but it's about getting people to buy into you. It's about persuasion. What are some of the examples of selling? You're selling when you convince your teammates to buy into that idea that you had at the back of your mind. You're selling when you convince your boss to give you that pay raise. Believe it or not, you're also selling when you're able to get your colleague to cover for you for the 12th time for that dentist appointment that you've been having in 1 year. When you think about why we focus so much on the value of selling, you need to think about the value of selling. Some of the things that we think about when it comes to selling is primarily focused on the financial benefit. But selling is about connection. That pitch should invoke emotion. It should reinforce those connections. You should try out different approaches. It's mental gymnastics. Think of selling like a chess master would. He or she would think 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of the opponent's moves. That is what selling is about. When I think of selling, I'm reminded of the ability to tell a story. As the Area 10 international speaker Darrell Johnson did when he was talking about his war stories. That is an excellent example of selling. Think about different approaches. Chris Voss, a former FBI negotiator and an author, in his book, Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as if your life depended on it. talks about open-ended questions, or what he refers to as calibrated questions, that guide conversations. If I had a mentor in my early years who would have given me the skills to be confident and persistent and probably built on a good pitch and storytelling, who knows? I could have been that vegetable billionaire. But in all seriousness, you do not have to lay down your dreams because of fear or embarrassment or humiliation. You need to realize that it's not just about closing the deal, but it's about opening doors of opportunity, building trust, and getting things done. Thank you.